Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Uh, I'm going to start a new series on simplifying your life in retirement. We do a lot of things that tend to complicate our lives a little bit. And I've been called a simple man before. I don't know if they mean simple-minded or I just like simple ways. I'm assuming it just means simple ways, and I am. I like everything simple. I ran my business that way, living my life that way, but things can get complicated. And this is just an intro to this series I'm going to be starting. And one of the first things we do that complicate our lives is we say yes too many times. I'm thankful that a long time ago, I learned that my mouth could say no just as well as it could say yes. Now, I know there's a lot of people pleasers out there, and I am one to some degree, but there comes a point where you just have to say no. Because if you say yes, you run into all kinds of complications. Another thing that complicates your life, I know a lot of us old folks are on Facebook. I'm on it every day. I keep in touch with a lot of my old friends and a lot of my old college buddies and a lot of my former students I taught in church. And I like it. I like it. But people get into arguments on Facebook, especially these days, political arguments. I have noticed, though, that people have a tendency to stay out of especially political arguments, but they can get in arguments. You'll never change anybody's mind on Facebook by arguing with them, and it just kind of complicates things and muddies the water in your own brain. So just don't get into arguments. The everyday drama. We all run into drama every day. We can choose to participate or we can choose to not participate. My wife worked part time, off and on, over our marriage, but the last 6 years she worked full time in a big lab. She didn't have really any marketable skills, but she was a worker bee. She was a little anxious about going to work. I said, show up on time, do your job, show up every day, and you won't be a star, you'll be a superstar. Well, she was there a couple of weeks and they were just shocked. They loved her there. But one of the things she took away from after she was there, I guess it was a month or so, all the drama that goes on. It's just not women, it's men too. Men are just as guilty. And but sticking their nose in everybody's business, and it complicates everything. We need to choose to stay away from those things. If it doesn't involve us, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I got enough of my own problems to worry about anybody else's problems. And I can get in trouble all by myself. I don't need anybody else to help me. Another thing we have a tendency to do sometimes, we overschedule. Even in retirement, we can overschedule social events. And it doesn't matter what it is. We can do this. We have a lot of opportunities, actually. We have a lot of opportunities, most of us. Some of us don't, and I get that. But we have a lot of opportunities for socializing. And we can say yes to a lot of these things, but we kind of have to prioritize a little bit or we can get overwhelmed. You can get overcommitted on really good things. You could literally be at church every day of the week if you wanted to be. If it's a larger church, there's all kinds of activities going on. But it could be clubs, it could be any kind of volunteering. You can get overcommitted on anything, and it's just not good. It complicates your life sometimes. I see this a lot. I see people thinking too much about the future or not thinking at all about the future. Now I know some people, uh, they could care less what happens tomorrow, and they're retired and their life is their life and they like it the way it is, and that's fine. But they don't give a moment's thought to what happens in next month, maybe if I've got a situation that's going to, um, and then there are the others who think totally about the future. Now I'm 71 years old. I think about the future. I think about the tires I'm going to need for this van this fall. I think about that. I think about the roof on my house. If I live another 7 or 8 years, it's going to need a new roof. But other than that, I really don't plan for the future every day. But I know some people who are they're my age and they're planning on living to be 100. And they're planning on all that in every facet of their life. And I think you can be extreme one way or extreme the other way. This is a big thing that complicates our life sometimes. I know it has caught me on a few occasions and not asking for help. I have a great neighbor. I have one neighbor on one side. They're 20 years younger, yeah, at least 20 years younger than we are. And they've just been some super neighbors, and he can do anything, and he'll do anything for me. And when I was younger, I was able, they've been there about 25 years, I guess, and I was always able to help him out, and I did, and it's all good. But sometimes I just refuse to ask for help. Well, I have learned the hard way that I could ask him for help anytime I want to, and it's the male ego. I know sometimes it's the female ego to ask for help, but sometimes we need to ask for help because we don't. We can end up doing something stupid or hurting ourselves or whatever, and that can complicate things. And here's the biggest one for me: embracing current technology. Most people watching this video did not grow up with computers. I guess we got our first Apple IIe computer back in the day, and it's basically just a glorified word processor. But I just never embraced computer technology. I worked with my hands. I just worked with my hands. I didn't have to worry about all that other stuff. But I have learned to embrace technology as much as possible. I'm going to tell a little story on myself, and you guys will laugh at me. When I first started this channel a month or so ago, I I had an iPhone 6 and I upgraded to an iPhone 16. Well, I got home with the phone. I got it all set up, made sure all my settings were set up, and checked everything, and added a few apps that didn't transfer, and blah 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 blah. Thought I had it all set. Well, when I started making videos with it, I could not figure out why it was taking 10 minutes or 2 hours or 3 hours, sometimes 5 or 6 hours to upload a 10-minute video. It just blew me away. So I checked every setting. I checked every setting. I checked the Wi-Fi connection at home. I must have checked the Wi-Fi connection 20 times. Well, I did what any dumb man like me would do. I Googled it and said, what would cause this to do this? And it said, check your Wi-Fi connection. So I thought, well, I've done it, but I'll do it one more time. And I checked my Wi-Fi. Yeah, I had the Wi-Fi button, little green button. It was on, but I did not have my home personal Wi-Fi button on. Bam! That 10-minute video took like 3 minutes to upload. So I'm trying to embrace technology, but if we don't embrace technology, it will complicate things. That's all I've got for now. This new series coming up is going to be good. It's going to be all about simplifying our life. If you got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe, leave in the comments things that you have found that complicate your life. And I'm sure they're a lot different than what mine are. But until we meet again, I'm going to continue to press on towards that goal.